We can't deny that we all enjoyed comic books as kids, and even some of us continue to read them because of the escape they provide. Since it's vital to take a break from reality every once in a while, as life may be stressful, dull, or just plain unpleasant, we need to indulge in some form of escapism. The only visual media that divides time into moments rather than seconds are comic books. So if you are one of those who are inspired by comic books and feel genuine when the tale starts in the comics, then you would certainly love to know about some of the most valuable comic books of all times. In this video, we are going to talk about the top 10 valuable comic books in the world. Number 10. Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four was published in November 1961 and created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and known as a landmark issue for comic books as the age of Marvel Comics. It is possibly one of the most important comic books on the list. The Fantastic Four was sold for $300,000 in 2011. It is the first appearance of Mr. Fantastic, the Thing, and the Invisible Woman, as well as their first time together as a team. The Fantastic Four has not had the best success being done justice in live-action films, but fans' hopes are high with this Marvel family making their debut in the MCU with a new film currently in development. Number 9. Captain America. This book was written by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. The book was published in March 1941 with illustrations by Kirby, who featured Captain America as the first Avenger. This issue was published by Timely Comics, but retained the Timely Comics name, also served as the debut of Project Rebirth, later known as the Super Soldier Program. While a few of the villains in this issue make their first appearances, the Red Skull and Cap's ally Bucky Barnes, who will later become the Winter Soldier, both make their first appearances in this edition. It cost $343,057 to buy it. Number 8. Marvel Comics. This comic was created in November 1939 by Ray Gill and Frank Paul. This issue was first released by Timely Comics and is the one that gave the magazine its current name. Many characters made their first appearance in this comic, but the most famous of them was Human Torch. But this Human Torch shouldn't be confused with Johnny Storm from the Fantastic Four, who went by the alias Jim Hammond. Marvel Comics, also known simply as Marvel, is one of the largest entertainment businesses in the world and was recently sold for $350,000. Number 7. X-Men. It was the first issue of the X-Men series by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, released in September 1963 and sold for $492,937 in 2012. With Cyclops, Jean Grey, aka Marvel Girl, Iceman, Angel, Beast, Professor X, and Magneto making their first appearance in this issue, the team makes its debut. Additionally, it introduced the idea of Homo Superior and one of the most well-known superhero teams in comic books, which is a major storyline in the X-Men comics, with themes of segregation and political agendas. It is the scientific term for mutants. Number 6. Superman. Superman 1 was published in June 1939, and it was also written by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. This comic also holds the record for the highest comic sale in history by surpassing Amazing Fantasy's sale in January 2022. With a cover created by Joe Shuster, this comic book was Superman's first solo publication. It told the character's origin story when he could still not fly and could only leap tall structures in a single bound. Number 5. All-Star Comics. This comic was released in December 1941. The debut and origin of Wonder Woman are told in this edition by writer E. Hibbard and artist Gardner Fox. The comic book's writing and artwork are credited to Hibbard and Fox, but Wonder Woman was actually created by William Moulton Marston. Her mother and the Amazon Queen Hippolyta made their debuts in this comic as well. Steve Trevor, the love interest of Wonder Woman, also makes their debut. A replica was advertised on eBay in 2017 and sold there for $936,223. Are you enjoying this video? If so, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Number 4. Detective Comics. Despite not being the most expensive, this comic, which was the first to feature Batman, was released in May 1939 by writer Bill Finger and artist Bob Kane. Comic book publishers wanted a follow-up character to Superman that could match his level of popularity after the Man of Steel's success. One of the most recognizable heroes to appear in comic books was introduced by Kane and Finger as they came on. Commissioner Gordon, who has since played a significant role in Batman stories for the past 83 years, made his comic book debut in this issue as well. It sold for $1.075 million and was the most expensive in 2010. Number 3. Action Comics. Look no further than the first superhero, created by Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel in June 1938. This book had a CGC rating of 8.5 and cost $1.5 million. The first appearances of Superman, Lois Lane, and Zatara, father of Zatanna, are all noteworthy examples. When Superman was first made public toward the end of the Great Depression, it was a time when everyone needed a symbol of hope, more than anything else. The most important invention from the golden age of comic books is still Superman. Number 2. Amazing Fantasy. The Amazing Fantasy was published in September 1962 by author Stan Lee and illustrator Steve Ditko, continuing Stan Lee's tradition of fantastic comic book characters. Along with Peter Parker's first appearance and origin, this episode also introduces Uncle Ben, Aunt May, and Flash Thompson. The passing of Uncle Ben in this issue also set Peter Parker on the path to becoming the well-known hero we know today. When the replica fetched over $1 million at auction in 2011, it came as no surprise. Number 1. Action Comics, CGC 9.0. Action Comics, CGC 9.0 holds the top position on our ranking of the most expensive comic books ever. The first appearance of Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's iconic Superman is featured in this comic, which many fans consider the holy grail of comic collectibles. The original comic book only cost 10 cents back in the day, but since then, copies have gone for more than $1 million. The price of this 9.0 CGC ranked copy, which was sold in 2014, reached a staggering $3.2 million, making it the most expensive comic book ever. That's all for today. Which comic is your favorite and like the most? Tell us in the comments section. TopTube will be back next week. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.